Ryan Bader, Vadim Nemkov. John, you talked about the age, the experience. I bet if you ask Ryan Bader, who's better, the 37-year-old version or the 27-year-old version, Ryan would say the 37-year-old version.
No doubt about it, he'd be right.
Here we go! Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Geico, the champion in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue gloves. Fight schedule for 5 5-minute rounds. Bader with the combination. John, you talked about in your keys that he cannot let Nemkov move him backwards, push him back. That's what Nemkov talked about, taking like maybe a little bit of what Anthony Rumble Johnson did against Ryan Bader.
There's no doubt, if you watch Ryan Bader's fights, he is comfortable coming forward, but to fight going backwards, just is a lot of his offense just dissipates. So if Nemkov can force him backwards, that's going to take away a lot of the offensive attack from Ryan Bader.
Early in his career, the knock on Bader was that anytime you were able to bully him around the cage, he had problems. He's remedied that with confidence in winning fights and winning world championships. But can he do that against someone like Nemkov?
He's been nothing short of spectacular since his move to Bellator.
Well, one of the things that I thought was going to be something that's going to be different for Ryan in this fight is he's been fighting heavyweights, and it's just the fact heavyweights are not as fast as the light heavyweights, and so is the speed of Nemkov going to be a problem for him in the beginning of this fight? He's now facing off against a guy that has the speed that he has had the advantage of in all his prior heavyweight fights.
I also said the whole week, Ryan Bader to me is better in the heavyweight division. And him having to make this cut down, he said he's felt great. He said he looked really good. He felt good in camp. But this all doesn't translate sometimes in a fight against someone who is young at 27 years old, reaching their prime.
Nice combination landed by Nemkov.
Josh, that brings us back to kind of the hybrid heavyweight conversation that we had earlier with Nemkov's teammate, Valentin Moldovsky. That said, don't forget, the majority of the career of Ryan Bader has been spent in 205. His first heavyweight fights were basically in the heavyweight world Grand Prix.
But in heavyweight, he's just so much more athletic than everybody in that division. You know, so that he's able to utilize his speed with his stand-up. He's able to power double guys and get them down. And when he does get them down, they just can't get up. We saw that with Matt Mitrione. This is the problem he's having right now. John pointed to it, and alluded to this, is that it's the speed factor. He's not used to dealing with the guys that are back down at 205 that have speed.
Well, he's dealing with the top contender in Vadim Nemkov. His toughest test at 205.
But Ryan did point out throughout this whole week, the one thing he wants to do is drag this fight into deep waters. He wants to get him into that third and fourth and fifth round and see where he fights there. Because like you said in the Phil Davis fight, he slowed down a lot in that third round.
Well, he's absolutely right. Like I've been around Vadim Nemkov since he was an amateur. Did his amateur title fight in Russia. And I was the referee for his first professional loss, and it was a loss that he was a 10-minute round, but he beat up his opponent for the entire round, but he exhausted himself in doing it and wasn't able to get rid of him. And at the end of the round, he couldn't get off of the mat, and that's how the fight ended. He didn't take any damage. But this is what Ryan needs to do right here. Put Nemkov on his back. This is very important for Ryan Bader right now. Keep him there.
And the last time Nemkov was defeated was in a 10-minute first-round fight.
Very nice. He has good wrist control here. He's doing a good job of turning to his side to try and elevate to get to the armbar or the triangle.
Vadim Nemkov told us that he spent some time training with the Russian national freestyle team at the Russian Olympic Training Center. He said it casted any doubts I had about my wrestling skills.
Well, he just showed you on the ground. Everything he was doing was what you want to see out of somebody. You saw how he was turning to one side of his hips or to the other. He was creating positions that he was able to move his body easily, pushing Bader back, making it to where Bader's having to bring his arms over the top. Not an easy thing to do.
Nemkov shaking that one off. And you feel like this can end with one strike.
He's tired.
They said you had him a couple of times. The family.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. Round two. Wrestling ready. Let's go to work.
Family watching, and we begin round number 2. Bader and Nemkov. Round 1, back and forth. Big John, how do you score it?
It was a close round, but if you take a look at what happened in the round and who landed the cleaner, better shots, it was Vadim Nemkov, in my opinion. He gets the round.
Josh, you concur?
I concur.
We're like medical men now.
Yeah, well, he got upset when I didn't ask him earlier in the prelims as well, so don't matter.
I'm really What'd you say?
Oh,
That's a clean shot.
yep.
Ryan Bader's got the power. The issue that I have with what he's doing right now is he keeps lunging in with the
Oh, he got hurt. He got stunned right there, Josh.
I saw him walk back a little bit as well. The speed has been the factor. Speed kills. We talk about this all the time, John.
Big swing and a miss by Nemkov.
Straight back. Every time that Nemkov is throwing, instead of stepping off to the side, you're seeing Ryan start to go
Saying there was an eye poke.
Ready? Okay, here we go. Time in.
Ryan should take more time right there and clear himself out.
He's ready, right back at it.
Looked like he caught just the edge of the glove.
Might have been the glove itself, not an actual finger.
Where the glove opens up into the finger, and sometimes there's a little tassel that's there. Sometimes it'll catch the eye.
Randy Couture knows all too well about that.
Bader needs to not lean his body, his upper body back. He needs to shuffle his feet back and then circle out. And he's having a hard time with that speed right now.
One of the things we talked about, Ryan cannot go backwards in this fight. He needs to force Nemkov to go backwards, and Nemkov is forcing Ryan to fight going backwards.
Nemkov looking very good thus far. Good movement, good speed, explosiveness.
I think also what Ryan Bader needs to do is get on the wrestling a little bit more. Make him be fearful of the wrestling.
Not one time is, one of my keys to victory. That blast double, he's so good at it and is changing the levels with it. But, it's easy to say he needs to do it, but he's feeling something out of Nemkov.
Get out there, Ryan.
Can he survive? Bader trying to
Get out there.
Wow, Ryan Bader is tired.
Ryan Bader trying to get back up.
He's trying to hold on here.
My
Doing
goodness.
everything he can, grabbing gloves, everything. I don't blame him. He's in deep trouble here. There's too much time left on this clock. He's taking a lot of shots.
He's up, at least for now, though.
That's it. That's it. Stop.
It is all
Stop.
over! Vadim Nemkov is the new Bellator light heavyweight champion!
This whole thing was set up with the combinations earlier in the fight, and now followed up with a beautiful head kick. And the reason why it worked is because every time Ryan Bader backed up, he backed up reaching out with his hands, and he leaned his upper body back. He didn't move his feet with him. You see it right
He
there.
turns his head, that hits square to the back of the head, but that's a legal shot. Ryan's the reason that the shot landed to the back of the head, so that is a fair blow. And from this point on, Ryan was just trying to hold on, survive. He did a great job, but that is a huge shot to have to try to work your way through. Beautiful kick, and then you see Nemkov. You saw Ryan get to his feet. He got back up, and when he got back up, he's turning his head away from Nemkov. He can't see the shots coming. When you don't see him coming, you're just not fighting smart too much. Big win and new world champion Vadim Nemkov.
A little bit of redemption.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end officially. 3 minutes, 2 seconds into round number 2 by TKO. He is the new Bellator light heavyweight world champion, Vadim Nemkov.
Stay on the tape brought to you by Celsius for this heavyweight co-main event. Denis Goltsov is 33, Renan Ferreira is 1 year older. Ferreira is 6 feet 8 inches tall. He also weighed in at 261 pounds, near the limit of 265. You can see the height advantage translates to a significant reach advantage on the arms and on the legs for Renan Ferreira. Denis Goltsov is there in the blue trunks. Renan Ferreira in the gray. Touch of the gloves. And the largest fight in PFL history is underway. Ferreira banks that calf kick early. Randy, you know it better than anyone. You have to respect every bit of power that these heavyweights possess.
Yep, takes one. You can't get out of position. You can't zig when you're supposed to zag. It literally only takes one shot from these guys.
Ferreira doing a good job of just doing some subtle feints, trying to get Goltsov to jump first.
PFL recently purchased Bellator, promised us champion versus champion card. And that is the Bellator heavyweight champion, Ryan Bader. Ryan, welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
Look, you're not undersized, but against two guys like this, you would give up some size. What do you think?
Yeah, some big boys in there. Yeah, watching this fight here, 6'8". You know, Goltsov's pretty dang big too, so looking forward to this fight, watching this fight, and then let's shoot champ versus champ and get it going.
Nice twisting body lock by Denis Goltsov from a double underhook position to get Ferreira to the ground. Now Goltsov looking to improve his position.
Trying to pass all the way to the mount here.
And Goltsov really driving that shoulder into the jaw of Ferreira. Now Ferreira in a much better position. He decides to go over the head instead. Now attacking that left arm of Ferreira, looking for that Kimura.
He's got the grip.
Blood from the nose of Goltsov.
Renan Ferreira, left arm in trouble here. Denis Goltsov
trying to crank that shoulder.
Very difficult to finish like that from half guard.
Can't get out and use your hips to crank that arm.
Yes.
His legs are preventing that.
And we asked Conan Silveira, the head coach at American Top Team, who's been working with Renan Ferreira, how you get ready for someone with the versatile skills of Denis Goltsov. What did you do to get Renan Ferreira ready? He said, I put him through hell. And that's exactly what Denis Goltsov is trying to do right now. Ezekiel choke attempt. Thought about it briefly, nothing doing.
Good job by Goltsov to pummel that right underhook right back in to get control. And we've seen Ferreira in the past on the ground. He tends to get a little bit inefficient, starts to tire. So excellent strategy here from Goltsov to get him down early and to keep him busy on his back. Looking for that Ezekiel again.
Ryan Bader, Bellator heavyweight champion, smothering performance so far from Goltsov, and you see he keeps attempting this Ezekiel.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, you know, and he's controlling really well here. He's looking for submissions. You know, and Renan's got to get to the wall, get to the cage, and stand up, get out of position. Right now, it's Goltsov's fight.
Would this also be the Bader game plan against someone like Renan Ferreira?
You know, he's so big, and you know, you get wild. You know, he's long. You got to get inside, and so kind of the game plan would be you mix your feints in with some shots and come with punches with those feints, keep him guessing, and yeah, take him down, wear him out, and you know, get a little of that zip off his punches.
Goltsov trying to advance position here, climbing through the middle.
Full mount.
Yeah, Goltsov really dominating on the ground right now, trying to set up that arm triangle. I also like to see him posture up, try to rain down some ground and pound.
Final 10 seconds of this first round. Heavyweight world title bout. Denis Goltsov on top of Renan Ferreira. Both men seeking their first belt and their first $1 million check here. Round 2 here. 265-pound world championship. Goltsov in the blue. Renan Ferreira in the gray.
Nice right hand by Ferreira.
Hit over the ear of Denis Goltsov, and there's another.
And another one. Oh,
he's hurt. He's hurt.
Knocks down big time, and the hammer fist will finish. Problema with the championship.
There's a swing and a miss by Ferreira. Takedown attempt by Goltsov. And Ferreira frames out. There's the big overhand left. And another overhand left. And the third one hits him right in the neck and puts him on the deck. And then the hammer fist onslaught comes until the referee has seen enough. Big right hand right in the neck. Comes down on top in half guard. The hammer fist comes raining down. Mr. Yamasaki has seen enough. The fight is over. New world champion, Renan Ferreira.
They hold to the action at 26 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner via TKO. And 2023 PFL Heavyweight Champion of the World, Renan Ferreira!
All right, you've been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out, handle your business. Let's go.
This one's scheduled for 5
all right, ladies,
5-minute rounds.
Round. Ready to fight? Ready to fight? Hell, let's go.
Here we go. Cyborg in the blue gloves, Bud in the red gloves. To the body early.
Bad move by Julia. You saw Cris push her towards the cage, and right away Julia gets the clinch, turns her into the cage. This is where she needs to be.
This is what 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗡 was talking about. Lean on her early, put her in the clinch, make her work, try to wear her down. And when you talk about a physical matchup, Julia Budd matches up physically, Josh, with Cris Cyborg, maybe as well as anybody she's ever faced.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I just feel like John and I have been talking about this for weeks now. This is where she wins the fight. Sure, maybe it won't be the most exciting fight, but when you're fighting the GOAT, okay, this is the type of things that you need to do. Control the pace, control the distance. Make sure you don't get hit shots with shots like that.
And make sure you don't take the knee on the way out, right?
Nice exit by Cris, and beautiful trick takedown. Being on the bottom is not a good thing for Julia. She doesn't have that bottom game where she's real dangerous. She is a top game fighter.
Cris Cyborg, believe it or not, has never won by submission. They're back up.
How often do you see someone just pop up like that? That's the physical size of Julia Budd, able to get back to her feet against Cyborg.
It was very impressive when you think about how she did that.
This is where Julia Budd needs to keep the fight high up on the underhook, against the fence, doing work. Knee in the leg, slowing Cyborg down. Don't try to force the takedown.
All of this time, to me, this is what we talked about, Josh. This is important for Julia because every second that she's in there with Cris, she'll get more and more confident. Yes, I'm the champion. She's the one that everyone's saying is the GOAT. I need to prove to myself I can be in this fight. I am better than her. And every second that she's in there, she's telling herself more and more, yes, this is mine.
I asked her, win, lose, or draw, would your career have been complete if you did not have a fight against Cris Cyborg? She said, no way. She's had goals that have nothing to do with the belt, but those goals have led her to become a world champion. Now she faces arguably the greatest of all time in Cris Cyborg.
And this type of fight right here, this is a grueling type of fight. All of this clinch work, both women are working very hard to get an advantage, to get their hand in the right place so they can land those knees. This is a grueling style of fight.
The title holder for nearly 3 years, Julia Budd, 3 minutes into this fight.
Cris landed a very nice knee to the body there.
Big right hand though by Julia, she stepped in.
The slip by Cyborg after the kick.
Well, that triangle, she's gotta get that other hand inside and she needs to pull her arm out. Get the head out.
It is not in a position right now where she's in trouble. That has got a lot of space, but Julia needs to be careful. That posturing of the head would be very important right now. Going for the arm.
She needs to stack her. She needs to keep her stacked. Nice throw to the head.
Beautiful job by Julia. Remain calm. Slides to the side.
Nice job on the crossface, keeping her back flat to the mat.
Yeah, she needs to get that hip down.
She's a switcher hits actually towards her legs.
Yep.
Stay and face her. Chest down. See, the problem is for a lot of people is they stay up on their knees. They need to actually just lay flat, put their hips over their face.
Good goal for
Julia Budd continues to apply pressure. The knee.
She was trying to knee the shoulder. She may have touched the head, but that was not something she was trying to knee the head of a grounded fighter.
You can't be kneeing the head.
I'm not saying that it didn't touch.
You cannot be kneeing the head. All right, Cyborg, are you okay? Yes? Okay, come on over here, guys, let's go.
Head absolutely,
right on the
absolutely
button.
right on the button.
Cris shakes it off. The fight continues.
Like it's nothing.
Yep.
Gotta love Cris Cyborg. She's just here to fight.
And she comes out swinging after that. Heavy leg kick, 45 seconds left in round 1.
Oh,
She fires away.
Big right hand by Cris. This is where Cris becomes very dangerous. On top, she is explosive.
Julia Budd needs to control the posture of Cris Cyborg right here.
She's doing that. She's doing a good job. Nice and relaxed.
$20 seconds left in the round, so she just really honestly, well, she's done a good job in this round. She needs to maybe try to create a little bit of space, try to get her back to the fence, or she can just hold for the rest of the round.
Well, she has done a good job, but she just took a shot to put her on her butt.
The up kick from Julia Budd. Some hammer fists from Cyborg, round 1 in the books. Set for the start of round number 2. You talk about superstars and legends. Marlos Kunin. Cyborg fought her twice. Julia Budd defeated Marlos Kunin to become the inaugural Bellator featherweight world champion. Big John, who gets round 1?
No, it was a very close round, but there were some things that happened in that, and I give Cris Cyborg round 1, 10-9.
And she comes out extremely aggressive here at the beginning of round number 2.
Nice job going behind. Julia tried to get that 𝗘𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘. Did not work. Cris slipped right behind her.
Take a look at the striking efficiency in round number 1.
And that's the difference. That's why Cris Cyborg won that round 10-9 on my scorecard. She just landed the better shots overall. But again, this is not a sprint. It can be that marathon, and you get into the 5th round, all that work that Julia's trying to do, that will add up.
Cris Cyborg scheduled for 5 rounds, 13 times. Julia scheduled for 5 rounds, 4 times, beginning with that title fight, of course, that we talked about with Marlos Cooney. Rarely have either of them gone the full 25.
Julia getting opened up a little bit as far as her hands are starting to flail off to the side. She needs to be careful.
In big fights like this, sometimes what you'll see, and especially in a 5-round fight, you'll see the fighters come out, you'll see one of them kind of have an adrenaline dump. I think we saw that in the first round. Now we're seeing a little bit in the second round with Julia, but if she, I think, can get to the 3rd round, she'll catch that 2nd win. End of the 2nd, into the 3rd is generally when you guys start to catch your 2nd win.
Julia Budd, the only woman to defeat Gina Carano in kickboxing. Cyborg's win over Gina Carano put Cris on the map.
Physically, both women are so strong. It's just remarkable to see some of the things they're doing, and you see how they're putting their arms, bracing out, framing out like Julia just did, and Cris just crushes it.
Julia's worried too much a little bit about the striking when she should be worried about getting an underhook and elevating it and turning her Cyborg to the fence. And now what she needs to do, there she goes. She needs to circle her back off the fence so she doesn't end up there again. Start trying to circle back to the center so she can put Cyborg's back to the fence. She's breathing pretty heavy right now. You see her mouth is open.
Both of them are breathing kind of heavy. I think it is. There's so much pressure. There is an adrenaline dump. You've got to get through that.
That's a nice little push kick there. That's to me, I feel like that's a better use of her tools against Cyborg. Keeps her further away, so there's less chance of her closing that distance and landing a big punch.
Julia's making a mistake. That arm is getting up around the head instead of shooting for that underhook.
That's the strength there of Julia Budd. Cyborg tried to take her down. The champ trying to work in the clinch. 90 seconds on the clock here, round number 2.
You see Ed Root there in her corner trying to whisper her, tell her to lift the underhook.
Exactly. Let him hold the head, get that underhook. That's going to get your position.
What's 𝗟𝗨𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘 saying?
Try to understand, it's in Russian.
Go for the knee, head center, watch your hip drop.
And what you're seeing, Cris is starting to win the position in war. You're seeing Julia having mistakes as far as bringing her hand up high over the head. She needs to always work towards getting that underhook. That's what's going to work for her.
Good shots from Cyborg. Couple of knees from that clinch position. Under a minute on the clock here. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Featherweight title on the line.
What I don't like what I'm seeing right now is there's a little tell every time Julia's gonna throw. She lifts that lead leg before she does anything. It's a tell that she's gonna do something, so that gives Cyborg a chance to take a step back and get out of range.
A decade ago, there it is again. Julia Budd said, I was a kickboxer with no grappling, no wrestling, no other martial arts experience. Both of these women have complete games, shooting for the takedown right on cue.
Nice on that snatch single. What she needs to do, she needs to pull her away and step behind or get her feet moving.
Another good knee from Cris Cyborg, John.
Nice response. You see that Cris not only fought off the takedown, but left her with the reminder of you don't want to do that.
Fired up hubby Lance Gibson, talking to his wife, the champion.
Let's go.
Saying you have got to believe in yourself. Big John, your scorecard.
Scorecard at this point, I have Cris Cyborg up 2 rounds to nothing. Not that Julia's not in the fight, but Cris is winning those rounds.
The first round was close. I felt like the illegal knee ended up causing and ruining her flow in that first round.
If that illegal knee didn't happen, it's very possible she could have won that round.
Yeah, because then she got taken down after that, and this looks bad, I think, in the judge. It was that close in the first round. Second round, I had her losing as well.
One of the things you were talking about, Mike, is her husband, Lance Gibson. I did hear Julia's title fight against Marlos Cooney, and he had to be a cheerleader throughout that entire fight because in certain ways, even though she was winning the fight, she just didn't believe that she could beat Marlos, that pioneer of MMA. And she's got to get past the mystique of Cris Cyborg here tonight to get this win.
Well, he just played very mean, angry cheerleader a moment ago.
He knows her.
Yes, he does. Better than anyone. Stepson Lance Jr., also a Bellator fighter, in Julia's corner tonight.
That's what the underhook does. You get the underhook, and look at how she turns her onto the fence.
I'd like to see Julia start putting her forehead up underneath Cris Cyborg and lifting and elevating it up, making her look to the ceiling and the lights. What that does, that stretches the body out and then opens up the knees to the body as well.
Lance Jr. told us with all the training with his stepmom that, and I quote, she basically ripped my arm off. And she is that strong. And looks to have Josh regained her composure and maybe some momentum after that adrenaline dump that you talked about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a huge stage. Huge. Doesn't matter who.
For both women.
Yeah, for both women. For Cyborg, it's her first fight in Bellator. You know, you want to perform. You want to show that the money you signed for is the money that you deserve. I was in that position in several organizations, so I understand the emotion she's going through. For Julia Budd, she wants to prove that she can beat the GOAT. To me, there's no doubt. Cyborg is that person that the mystique is true. You step in the cage with her, you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm in the cage with Cyborg. This is not Cyborg. I have to say it again, Cyborg. So all she had to do is, as John was saying, as the fight goes on, she should be gaining more and more confidence. That's all her husband was trying to remind her.
Exactly it. Do you believe in yourself or not? It's mental at this point.
One of the hardest things, if you're Cris Cyborg, is you're always that one with the target. And Julia Budd being the champion, she had that target on her with every other person. Now she finally had to have someone that she could put a target on. Putting it on Cris Cyborg, saying, I'm going to prove that I can beat you. That's something that's good for your motivation in the fight.
Close guard. Under 2 minutes left in round 3.
What she needs to do is put her feet on the hips. She doesn't want to be underneath her like this. She's got to put the feet on the hips and kick her back. Get up from there. You cannot afford to hang out with your hands behind your head like she's doing right now. I hate seeing fighters do that. It drives me absolutely crazy because that's a jiu-jitsu move. You see top jiu-jitsu guys sometimes do that like, I'm so good on the bottom, I don't have to worry about you passing my guard. In the meantime, she just missed her punch and she has missed her opportunity to get back to her feet.
And she just passed her guard.
Yes.
Right into side control. Good spot for Cris Cyborg. Bad spot for Julia Budd with a lot of time remaining here in round 3.
Cris kind of got her head stuck a little bit and just got it out. Side control here. Nice body attack by Cris.
Both women have only been defeated twice in their professional careers. Cris Cyborg in her professional debut 14 plus years ago, and then to Amanda Nunes.
You see that grittiness of Cris Cyborg. She's putting her hand over her face. She's making sure she's restricting her breathing. She's driving her forehead across her forearm across her mouth and her jaw and her nose. She's letting her know that she's in a fight every moment of this fight. And we saw from the highlights in between rounds 2 and 3. Every time on the break, you're not just gonna break from me, I'm gonna let you just walk away. No, I'm gonna make you pay on the way out. And that's just the experience of Cris Cyborg.
Julia Budd was finished by Amanda Nunes in her second professional fight. Last seconds of this round, big ground and pound from Cyborg. Championship rounds.
Ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hey, let's go.
The champ in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue gloves. Cyborg's corner, and John, I'm sure you agree, says she is up 3-love.
No doubt up 3-love. I give it a 10-8 round at the end because Julia Budd was in a bad position, taking shots, was being dominated, got damaged. Give her 10-8.
Her husband Lance said, do not kick. And what is she? Her first 2 kicks, her first 2 puncher strikes is kicks.
Yep.
Fingers.
Julia Budd needs to keep that belief. That mentality that she can come back in this fight. And at this point, to win, finish Cris Cyborg, who has landed 101 punches through 3 rounds.
Basically doubling what Julia's been able to put out. Nice chop to behind. There's some more.
Look at that.
He's in trouble on this one.
And the knees, more hands.
He is in trouble, Mike.
Big trouble.
Big shot again.
This is the Cyborg that we have watched.
Body shot hurt.
And it is all over. Cris Cyborg is the Bellator Featherweight World Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end officially. 1 minute, 14 seconds into round number 4. The winner by TKO, and now the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Cris Cyborg.
Brings us the tale of the tape, and it's a big one. It's a special fight, this. McCourt against Collins. You can see the height advantage and the reach, both in arm and in leg, to McCourt. But Sara Collins have the fantastic judo background that could prove a real problem tonight for McCourt. What has been a crackling evening here at the OVO Arena in northwest London. And we have the main attraction.
Ladies, you ready? You ready? Let's go.
It's Leah McCourt from Belfast against Melbourne's Sara Collins, the southpaw in the white. What are we looking for early now?
Well, that was a good hard inside low kick from Leah. I think the most important thing is for her to try and maintain that space. That was a good up kick. The jab and the inside low kick are going to be key, but she has to set that inside low kick up because that's been caught now a couple of times. She can't keep offering that leg for her opponent to catch.
Bad sign though to me when Collins caught the kick, put her down, didn't follow her down. Normally that would be her bread and butter.
You know, I wonder if that's because she didn't land in a position that's familiar to her, right? She normally goes for that head and arm control, uses the hip toss to get them to the floor. Passing guard might not be a strength of hers here. She might decide she's better to land on her opponent if she's getting inside the clinch.
The strong, smaller southpaw from Australia, undefeated.
Watch those fingers.
Good long jab there from Leah.
And she'll be looking at that, won't she? She's got that range, that reach.
She has. The long-range weapon that we've got to watch out for Collins is that rear stabbing front kick. We saw her use it against 𝗟𝗘𝗥𝗢𝗣𝗘. Really good, jamming it into the mid-leg.
Collins, McCourt in massive trouble.
This is over. She's pouring it on. Leah's trying to recover here. She's trying to turn, but she's getting hit with some big shots.
Inside the first minute and a half. Can McCourt get up?
McCourt looked out as soon as she hit the ground.
Collins on the verge.
Collins is going to look to attack one of these arms here, even if it's just to tie up the arm so she can land some free strikes to the head. Here she goes, look.
Is there a way out here for Leah McCourt?
Leah's got to start bumping her hips. She's doing the right thing, but she can't stay flat on her shoulders here. You can see Sara Collins isolating one arm. She's going to step over and take the back here.
And this is her strength, the judo background.
Trying to use the heavy hips. Now she's under the neck.
Oh, dear.
Hands. This is over.
Bad moments for Leah McCourt. That's Sara Collins.
Great start for Sara Collins here. She might have this sunk in.
This is deep.
Collins wins in the first round.
Wow. Undefeated.
McCourt is stunned here at Wembley.
Right here. I think it was from the southpaw stance. Yep. The left hand.
Head on the center
right
line. Oh, that was the first one. That was with the up kick, but throwing the kick on the center line is the reason why it kept getting caught. Here we go again. Left hook around the side. The leg got caught. There's the up kick. You can see though Leah was throwing that kick from Cole, but here's the exchange where she gets caught. Beautiful right hook, cracked her on the chin.
It was that right hand that got through earlier, and then it really landed. Just watch it again. And she fell face first, and then with that strength, it was pretty much over.
Yeah, well, the thing about Leah McCourt is she did everything she could to stay in this fight, but I'm telling you, Right here, she doesn't know where she is. She's fighting off instinct. You need to make the right technical decisions. You can't do that when you've been rocked with a shot. Those short punches, you don't know where everything is. You can't adequately defend, and that's what led to the rear naked.
And there was no
coming back from that.
She could get out of that. The rear naked choke, inside around. Double quick time. Sara Collins, undefeated, with the victory of her career, of her life, all the way from Australia, who've done a double tonight, haven't they, the Aussies?
Absolutely. That was a defining moment for Sara Collins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 2 minutes, 25 seconds into round number 1. She is the winner by submission, and she is now the #1 featherweight contender, Sara Collins.